The problem with a majority vote decision is it always risks sabotage by the minority. In the minority's point of view, this is wrong, this should not be. We're going to do everything we can to prevent this. This is the way lots of legislatures function. A majority and a minority, and it's the minority's purpose to prove that the majority is wrong. Consensus requires the minority to do something different. They're not saying this is the best, otherwise it would be a unanimous decision. They are deciding to support what they don't think is the best. That's the definition of a consensus. It's very much like Matsushita.
Matsushita, yeah.
Matsushita is having a consensus decision when he agrees to support something that he doesn't think is best. How do we do that as an individual? When do we do that? If you don't have the ability to do that, you're going to have difficulty participating in creating consensus and will drive towards majority-minority conflicts. Of course, there's a value we're laying on you. The consensus has the potential for creating more commitment to producing the results. But it does require more effort up front to do. And the key is the minority. How they're treated and what decision they make. Now, how you produce that consensus on the next two pages, pages 12 and 13, are just some general common sense guidelines for things that you can do. You know, it's mainly about being respectful of differences, encouraging of differences, having, you know, letting someone finish their thought before you interrupt them with telling them that they're wrong. Any communication that you say that you could tack on the end of it, you stupid idiot, is not a good communication.
Rob, tell them about the VP wanting input from his...
Oh, we'd worked with coaching a vice president of another company, and he really liked our ideas and thought they were great and wanted to implement them, wanted to balance his authority with collaboration, wanted to get ideas from his coworkers, very enthusiastic about it. So we were in a meeting with him, and there was one person who was new and younger, and he finally said, Mike, you know, you haven't contributed to anything. What do you think about what we're talking about? Tell me what you think. And Mike was a little awkward, and you could tell that he was kind of stuttering a little bit, and he was getting his idea out, and about halfway through the VP went, well, that's stupid, why do you think that? Now, how open is Mike going to be next time he's asked to contribute? Now, the VP, I think, was, in his own mind, basically talking the way I think he'd like other people to talk to him. He'd like that kind of repartee, let's get in and mix it up kind of thing. But when you have the mantle of authority sitting on your shoulders, you can't treat people like peers. Because they are not. And they can't treat you like a peer. Now, maybe over a period of years you could work out where you could have that kind of relationship, but it's not something that just happens. You have to convince someone that it's in fact safe to disagree with you as an authority. And in that moment, that VP reinforced in that person's mind that it was not safe. He was called out as stupid publicly, and that made him not want to share more as he went forward. So there are a lot of subtle things that we all have as negative behaviors, I think, when we're in disagreement. We have a tendency to focus on where we're in disagreement right off the bat rather than to acknowledge where we are in agreement. And if you do this, you'll discover that we usually have a lot more agreement than we have disagreement. But if we go right to where we have the disagreement, the implication in the other person's mind is we don't have any agreement about anything. So you want to put the area of disagreement in context of the agreement. There are a lot of little things in the communication training that we teach you that will help you bring out other people's ideas more. Not just to hear what they're saying, but to hear what they're not saying. Not because they're hiding anything, but just because people don't think thoroughly. They are aware of certain areas of information and maybe not others. And if you restate your understanding of what they are saying and ask questions about the others, they'll, oh yeah, there's this and this and this, and you bring out more. You want to find out why the other person doesn't see things the way you do. The majority needs to find out why the minority sees it differently. Why, what are they seeing we're not seeing?